What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on the Lakers, right, and their situation that they have going on. Um, and, and first of all, like I'm talking about like the Lakers being better this year, like with Marcus Smart starting. And I remember earlier in the season when LeBron James he had just came back or he's getting ready to come back. And Paul Pierce said that LeBron James should come off the bench, right? And some people pushed back and he caught a little bit of flack for that. But at the time, I agreed with Paul Pierce because if you think about their lineup, if you start LeBron James, Austin Reeves, Luca, DeAndre Ayton, and Roy Hachimura, right? You don't have and your defense is very compromised because you have three guys that really are not good on defense, right? Um, Roy Hachimura probably he probably a defense is a decent defender. DeAndre Ayton, I think at times he could be a really good defender, if he's motivated. So, but then you have three guys out there who don't really play good defense at all. And so you can't sit down Luca because Luca is Luca is like the engine, he runs that thing, right? So you can't sit Luca down. And you don't want to take Reeves out, Austin Reeves, because Reeves is, he's on a tear. I think Austin Reeves, they say averaging like 28 points a game. So LeBron is the odd man out. You LeBron is the one you had to sit down because you need Marcus Smart out there. He's a better defender than all of those guys, but he gives you that toughness. It's really not gonna be all that easy to get past him. Then, he's a physical defender. He's an intelligent, he just play with more energy than these guys. He has more want-to on the defensive end when it comes to all of those three guys. But like I said, you can't take Reeves out or Luca. So it had to be LeBron, but the Lakers didn't do that. They put LeBron James into the starting lineup. They didn't get any pushback, and which they should not have got any pushback from Smart. You just allow as a player, you just allow your play to speak for itself. He knows, Marcus Smart knows that this team need him. And he probably thinking in the back of his mind that, y'all can go ahead and do this now, but if we want to do anything this year, we want to make it into the playoffs, they definitely going to need Marcus Smart in that starting lineup. And so I was recently listening to the Scab Attack, right? And he basically was saying the same thing, right? That without Marcus Smart, basically the Lakers are fool's gold. And this means that JJ Redick has a decision to make. Like he's going to have to sit his guy down. I know LeBron James, his guy. They did the podcast together, and LeBron got JJ Redick this job. But if JJ wants to have any type of success, if he's thinking about his career on a long-term basis, then he's gonna have to sit LeBron James down and have him come off the bench, which to me I think is really going to be funny, man, because I want to see if how LeBron James is going to handle that situation. His agent, what's the guy named? Rich Paul already came out and said that Reeves should come off the bench. So they want one of their scorers to go to the bench, bring Marcus Smart off, but so let me just play though what Scab Attack says, and then I'm gonna come back and give some more input on what was said.
Well, the LA Lakers got rolled by the San Antonio Spurs 132 to 119 at home as 7.5-point favorites in the Emirates in-season NBA Cup quarterfinals last night. And all of that despite the fact Victor Wembanyama sat out for the San Antonio Spurs again. He has now missed 12 of the Spurs' 24 games this season so far. More on that in a minute. For the Lakers, they, again, were exposed by a pretty good team, despite the fact they were at relative full health. They had their entire presumptive starting lineup locked and loaded. They had Marcus Smart back. More on him in a moment. They had Luka Doncic go for 35 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. It looks like he is just going to go ahead and lead the NBA in scoring. He's averaging 35 points per game right now with no signs of slowing down in sight. And yes, they had LeBron James, the king, who had a pretty good game if, again, you just look at that standard box score. 19 points, 15 rebounds, and 8 assists for James. However, not so fast. He did have a minus 16, which was the worst of all of the starters for the Los Angeles Lakers last night. It, in fact, was the second worst number for the entire team in that category.
It's garbage.
Yeah, so LeBron James sitting on a minus 16 in the 36 minutes that he played, no small sample size. Meanwhile, Marcus Smart returned to the lineup last night. Again, I talked about this, Marcus Smart and LeBron James, the budding awkward situation that JJ Redick is going to have to make there. The determination, I think, to put Marcus Smart into the starting lineup. I made a video on this a few days ago, how the Lakers are substantially and markedly better with Marcus Smart in the lineup over LeBron James, in the starting lineup, at least over LeBron James. And again, that.
Right. So I agree, man. And so that minus 16 that LeBron James brings to the, or minus 6 or 16, whichever one that LeBron James brings to the table, LeBron James is worried about getting his numbers on one end of the court. But then at the defensive side, he's not concerned with defense at all. You know, if you watch the Lakers game, like, he don't hustle back on defense. He let his the the guy who he's playing, he let him go backdoor for easy baskets. He don't help out on defense at all, you know. So at least sometimes when players are not good on ball defenders, they can be good team defenders, right? But LeBron James is like, if somebody else man beat them, LeBron James won't step in to help. Or if LeBron James get beat, it's not like he's gonna try to catch up on defense so he can make a play. It's just he's just not interested in defense, right? And so, like Scat said, Luka is leading the league in scoring, right? And that's what he do. He score and he distribute the ball. So if you got Luka doing his thing, you can only afford to have really one player on the court who's not really, you only had one Luka on the team. Luka not gonna really play tough defense, at least on ball defense. Luka probably, he can be a better team ball defender, but if he's not a great on ball defender, then you can only afford to have one player like that on the floor, because you can't hide 2 and 3 players. Well, it's more difficult to hide 2 and 3 players when you like that, right? And so the effort that LeBron James is giving at the defensive end is just pathetic, man. I don't know, and I don't get it. I think that the league wanted to promote James, and make him the face of the league, and they have for a long time, but he has never really, in my opinion, helped it or like held up his end of the bargain. Like, if they're gonna make you the face of the league, at least play hard. At least put forth a legitimate effort. This guy, when he don't have the ball, he not moving. He just go sit in one spot, wait for the ball to rotate to him, and so he can shoot or do whatever he want to do with it. And this is going to, and you kind of say at times, like JJ Redick, his frustration with LeBron James, because on the one hand, you got a guy, a veteran player who is in his 23rd year, and he's earned a certain amount of respect. But on the other hand, you got a guy in his 23 years who don't respect the game, is disrespecting his coach and his teammates by the effort that he put forth. So what do you do with that? In my opinion, I think you got to call this guy out. You have to. It's got to be Marcus Smart. If you got to put Marcus Smart in there. But I'm curious to see, man, if JJ Redick is going to stick with LeBron James, put the Lakers season at risk, you know, yeah, you gotta put LeBron James on the bench because Marcus Smart looked really good coming back. When they put him in there, Marcus Smart looked good. And like I said, Marcus Smart played tough at both ends. And the Lakers are only -1 with Marcus Smart in there. Whereas though with LeBron in there, they -6, or I couldn't remember what this guy said, but 6. I think it's 16. I think they -16 with LeBron James. That's just a big swing. And so that's a lot to be given up. That's a whole lot to be given up, man. -16. That's tough. Um, that's my take on it. Y'all make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.